Why are you in pain right now? Seriously, ask yourself this. Why does life feel so hard? Why does it feel like no matter how much you push, you're still stuck? Like the universe has decided to punish you for daring to want more. Let me tell you something they don't want you to hear. Your pain isn't a punishment. It's a test. Most people will never figure this out. They'll spend their lives running from pain, avoiding discomfort, and hiding from the hard truth. But the truth doesn't care about your feelings. The truth is brutal and it's simple. Pain is the price you pay for becoming powerful. Stick with this until the end, because by the time we're done, you won't fear pain anymore. You'll crave it. You'll understand why it's the most valuable thing that could ever happen to you. Think about the most successful people on the planet. The ones who dominate life, who walk into a room and the world pays attention. Do you think they got there by coasting through an easy, comfortable life? No. They got there by surviving more pain than you can imagine. Pain is what forged them. Pain is what built the mindset, the resilience, the unbreakable spirit that makes them untouchable. The problem is, you've been lied to. From the moment you were born, the world started telling you that pain is bad, that you should avoid it, that life should be easy, happy, and comfortable. They taught you to fear pain. But what if that's the biggest mistake you've ever made? What if pain is exactly what you need? The mindset shift. Here's the truth. Pain is the raw material of strength. Every time you feel pain, physical, emotional, mental, you're standing at a crossroads. Most people take the easy road. They numb the pain, they run from it, they quit. And that's why they stay average. But the ones who take the harder road, the ones who stare pain in the face and say, "Is that all you've got?" They're the ones who become unstoppable. Pain is how life asks you a question. How bad do you want it? And your answer determines everything. The people who win, the ones who make millions, build empires, get the body, the life, the respect, they all answer it the same way. I want it more than I want comfort. They didn't avoid pain, they embraced it. The reward. Why this matters? Most people won't make it to the end of this video. They'll click away because the truth is uncomfortable. But you're still here, and that already makes you different. It means there's a part of you that knows the truth, even if the world tries to bury it. So here's your reward for sticking through to the end. You're going to learn how to flip pain into power. You're going to realize that every ounce of suffering you've ever felt wasn't wasted. It was fuel waiting for you to light the fire. By the time this is over, you won't just survive pain anymore. You'll use it. Because pain isn't here to stop you, it's here to build you. If pain is the path to power, why do so many people stay weak? The answer is simple. They choose to. It's not because they aren't capable. It's not because they don't have what it takes. It's because they refuse to face the truth. That strength is earned, not given. Most people will do anything to avoid pain. They cling to comfort like it's their lifeline. They convince themselves they're being smart by avoiding hardship, that taking the easy route is the logical choice. But that's not logical. That's fear dressed up as wisdom. They tell themselves stories to feel better about their weakness. I'll start tomorrow. It's not the right time. I'm doing okay. At least I'm not suffering. Lies. The truth is, they're scared. Scared of failing, scared of judgment, scared of the pain that comes with growth. But here's what they don't realize. They're already suffering. Because comfort is a slow, quiet kind of pain. It doesn't hit you all at once. It sneaks up on you. It's the pain of waking up 10 years from now, realizing you're the same person you were a decade ago. It's the pain of watching someone else live the life you wanted while you tell yourself it could have been me. That's a pain far worse than any workout, any rejection, any failure. The cost of comfort. Comfort is a trap, a prison disguised as paradise. It promises safety, but what it really gives you is stagnation. It whispers, relax, you deserve it, take it easy. And while you're busy listening, your potential dies a little more every day. Because comfort makes you soft. It steals your hunger, your drive, your edge. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly alive? Was it when you were sitting on the couch, scrolling through your phone? Or was it when you were pushing yourself past what you thought you could handle? Deep down, you know the answer. Humans aren't designed for comfort. We're built to conquer, to create, to endure. That fire inside you, the one that's been buried under excuses and distractions, it wasn't meant to stay dormant. It was meant to burn. But the longer you stay comfortable, the weaker that fire gets. Weakness is a choice. The harsh truth? Weakness isn't something you're born with. It's something you become. Every time you choose comfort over progress, you're feeding that weakness. Every time you let fear win, you're training your mind to surrender. And the worst part, you probably don't even notice it happening. Weakness is deceptive. It feels innocent. It disguises itself as self-care and taking a break. But weakness doesn't knock on the door and introduce itself. It creeps in, slowly, silently. One skipped workout becomes a week of laziness. One missed opportunity becomes a lifetime of regret. One excuse becomes a habit, and before you know it, you're trapped. Not by the world, but by your own mind. The turning point, here's the thing. You weren't born to be weak. The fact that you're still here, still listening, means you already know that. There's a part of you that refuses to settle, a part that knows you're meant for more. That voice inside, the one telling you to get up, to fight back, to stop living like a shadow of the person you could be, that's the real you. And that voice is louder than any excuse, stronger than any fear. The people who stay weak, they silence that voice. They drown it out with distractions, comfort, and false positivity. They pretend it's not there. But you're different. You're still listening. That means your fire isn't out yet. It's still burning. And pain is the fuel that's going to make it roar. So stop running from it. Weakness is comfortable, but it's a prison. Pain is hard, but it's the key. Which one do you want to live with? Why does pain feel so unbearable sometimes? Why does your mind scream at you to stop, to quit, even when you know quitting means staying exactly where you are? It's not because you're weak. It's because your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do: protect you. Your mind's number one job is survival, not success, not happiness. Survival. It's an ancient, hardwired instinct buried deep in your DNA. A voice telling you to avoid pain because back when humans lived in caves, pain usually meant death. Pain meant starvation. Pain meant getting hunted down by something faster and stronger. But you're not in a cave anymore. You're not running from wild animals. The only thing hunting you now is regret. And pain is the only thing strong enough to push you fast enough to escape it. The truth is, your brain is lying to you. It screams stop because it thinks pain is dangerous. But in this world, pain isn't what kills you. Comfort is. The pain barrier, why most people break. Everyone has a pain threshold, a point where the mind starts screaming louder than your willpower. Most people hit that wall and stop. They think that wall is the end, but it's not. That wall is a lie. It's your mind's last desperate attempt to keep you safe, to keep it small. The reality? That wall isn't stopping you. It's hiding what you're really capable of. It's the doorway to the next level of you. But you have to break through it to find out what's on the other side. Pain is like fire. Most people touch the flame and pull away, afraid of getting burned. But the strong ones, they walk through the fire. They let it burn away their weakness, their doubt, their fear, until all that's left is raw, unstoppable strength. Your mind quits before your body does. Here's what they never taught you in school. Your body is far stronger than your mind wants you to believe. When your muscles ache, when your lungs burn, when you feel like you're going to collapse, you're not even close to your limit. Science proves this. Studies show that most people quit at only 40% of their actual capacity. 40%. That means when your mind says, I can't take any more, you still have more than half of your strength left untapped. The only reason you stop is because your mind tricks you into believing you can't go further. But it's a lie, a carefully crafted illusion designed to keep you comfortable. The strongest people in the world, the ones who dominate their lives, they know this secret. They push past the point where most people quit. And that's why they win. They don't stop when they're tired. They stop when they're finished. Rewiring your brain for pain. So how do you break free from this mental prison? How do you stop your mind from controlling you? You start by rewiring it. Every time you endure pain and keep going, even when it feels unbearable, you're rewiring your brain. You're teaching it that pain isn't the enemy. It's the trigger that unlocks your next level. The more you lean into pain instead of running from it, the stronger you become, mentally, physically, emotionally. You stop fearing pain and you start using it. Suddenly, the things that used to scare you don't anymore. The things that felt too hard start feeling normal. And the things you thought were impossible become inevitable. Pain is no longer something you suffer, it's something you seek, because you realize pain isn't there to stop you. It's there to build you into the version of yourself you were always meant to become. So the next time you feel that pain rising, the next time your mind begs you to quit, remember this: your pain isn't proof that you should stop. It's proof that you're on the right path. Who are you when everything goes wrong? Not who you are when life is easy. That version of you doesn't count. Anyone can be confident when they're winning, happy when things are going their way, and motivated when success feels close. But who are you when life punches you in the face? When you're broken, exhausted, and alone? When nothing is working and the world doesn't care how hard you've tried? Who are you then? Because that version of you, that's the real you. Pain strips away the mask. It exposes the truth. And for most people, that truth is ugly. They realize they're not as strong as they pretended to be. They realize their positive mindset was only temporary confidence, built on the illusion of things going right. But here's what separates the strong from the weak. The strong let pain rebuild them. Pain shows you who you really are. Pain doesn't create weakness. It reveals it. It drags every hidden insecurity, every buried fear, and every excuse into the light, and it forces you to look at it. Most people can't handle that. They crumble under the weight of their own reflection. They'd rather stay blind than face the truth of who they are. But the truth is the only thing that can set you free. Because once you see yourself fully, the good, the bad, and the pathetic, you have a choice. You can accept it or you can change it. Pain gives you that choice. It's life asking, what are you willing to do to become who you're meant to be? You either break or rebuild. When pain hits, there are only two paths. You break or you rebuild. Breaking is easy. It's what most people do. They let pain define them. They carry it like a weight, dragging it behind them for the rest of their lives, an excuse for why they never became who they could have been. They say things like, I tried, but it didn't work. I got hurt, so I gave up. It's too hard. They turn pain into a prison. But the strong, the people who rise above everyone else, they do something different. They take that pain and they rebuild. Every scar, every failure, every betrayal, they don't wear it like a burden. They forge it into armor. They become stronger, not despite the pain, but because of it. They don't let the pain break them. They let the pain build them. Pain forces you to decide, who do you want to be? Pain isn't random. It's a test, a challenge, asking you the most important question of your life. Who do you want to be? The weak let pain make the decision for them. They let it turn them bitter, lazy, soft, and scared. The strong, they make the decision themselves. They decide that no matter how hard it gets, they'll keep moving forward. They'll keep fighting. They'll keep showing up, even when it feels pointless, even when the odds are against them, even when no one else believes they can do it, because that's what pain is really asking you. How bad do you want it? If you quit, you never wanted it bad enough. But if you keep going, if you push through the pain, past the excuses, and beyond what you thought was possible, you become the kind of person who can't be stopped. Not because life got easier, but because you got harder. So when life tests you, when pain comes crashing down, don't ask why me. Ask yourself, who am I going to become because of this? What if the very thing you fear, the pain, the struggle, the hardship, is the exact price you must pay to get everything you've ever wanted? Because that's the truth no one talks about. Success isn't free. It never was. It demands payment, and the currency is pain. You can't cheat your way around it. You can't bargain with it. There's no discount. The price is suffering, and most people simply aren't willing to pay it. They want the reward without the sacrifice. They want the victory without the fight. They dream of the body, the money, the freedom, the life, but they're not prepared to bleed for it. And that's why they stay exactly where they are. Because life doesn't care about what you want, it cares about what you're willing to endure. The illusion of easy, people waste their lives searching for an easier way. They chase shortcuts, hacks, and overnight success stories, thinking there's a hidden path that skips the pain. But there's no secret route. The people who look successful, the ones you admire, the ones who seem untouchable, they didn't avoid pain. They embraced it. They walked straight into it while everyone else ran the other way. What you see now, the strength, the confidence, the success, that's not who they started as. That's who they became after paying the price in full. So stop believing the lie that success is supposed to feel easy. It's not. It's supposed to hurt. It's supposed to break you down and test you. That's how it earns its value. If it came easy, you wouldn't respect it. You wouldn't hold on to it. And you definitely wouldn't be proud of it. It's the suffering, the pain you endure along the way that makes the reward worth it. The world rewards those who outlast the pain. Life isn't about who's the smartest, the fastest, or the most talented. It's about who can take the most pain without breaking. Because the truth is, most people quit the moment it gets hard. They crumble the second they feel discomfort. They convince themselves that the pain means it's not meant for them, that life is telling them to stop. But life isn't telling you to stop. Life is asking you, how bad do you really want this? The people who win aren't always the most gifted. They're the ones who outlast everyone else. They're the ones who show up on the days they don't feel like it. The ones who push through the exhaustion, the setbacks, the failures, because they know that's the toll they have to pay. They understand a simple truth. Pain isn't a punishment. It's proof you're on the right path. The pain is temporary. The reward is forever. Pain feels endless when you're in it. It feels like it's never going to stop, like you're trapped in a storm that's only getting worse. But it won't last forever. Nothing does. The pain is temporary. But what it builds in you, what it shapes inside you, that lasts a lifetime. The discipline, the confidence, the resilience, the unshakable belief in yourself, that's permanent. The reward is waking up one day and realizing you became the person you used to admire. It's looking back and knowing you endured what most people couldn't. It's standing on top of the mountain and knowing you earned every damn step, but you only get that moment if you refuse to quit when it hurts. Because pain isn't the end, it's the path. The only question that matters is, are you willing to pay the price? Who would you become if you stopped running from pain, if you faced it head on every time and let it mold you instead of break you? Most people never find out. They live their whole lives stuck as the person they are now, never discovering the version of themselves that pain could have created. They think pain is an enemy, but pain is really a bridge. It's the only path that connects where you are to where you want to be, the gap between the life you're living and the life you dream of. But here's the thing, that bridge is built with fire. It's uncomfortable, it's brutal, it's lonely, and most people refuse to walk across it. They want to teleport to success, to skip the suffering and land on the other side. But life doesn't work that way. You don't get to become the strongest, smartest, most successful version of yourself without walking through that fire. There's no shortcut. Pain forces you to let go of who you were. The truth is, the version of you that starts the journey isn't strong enough to reach the other side. That version has to die along the way. Pain is the force that breaks you down, not to destroy you, but to strip away the weaknesses you refuse to let go of. Your old habits, your excuses, your self-doubt, your fear. It burns all of it to the ground. That's why pain feels unbearable sometimes. It's not because you can't handle it. It's because you're fighting to hold on to the old you. The part of you that's lazy, the part that's scary, the part that's comfortable, but you can't take that version of you to the next level. Doesn't belong there. Pain is the price you pay to become someone new, someone stronger, smarter, tougher, and unstoppable. The pain won't last, but the new you will. Here's the reality. Pain is temporary. It feels like it lasts forever, but it doesn't. The exhaustion fades, the soreness heals, the heartbreak mends, but what pain leaves behind, the version of you it carves out, that's permanent. Pain sharpens you. It forces you to level up. It teaches you discipline when motivation dies. It builds mental toughness when hope runs out. It gives you power you didn't even know you had. And once you've endured enough pain, something shifts inside you. You stop seeing pain as something to avoid. You start chasing it because you realize pain is the fastest way to grow. It's no longer something you suffer through. It's something you use, because every time you push through pain, every time you survive what you thought would break you, you're not just getting stronger. You're becoming someone who can't be broken anymore. The choice is always yours. At the end of the day, pain doesn't make the choice for you. You do. Pain presents you with two options: stay the same or become someone new. You can let pain stop you, or you can let it sculpt you. You can let it bury you, or you can let it build you. No one can make that decision for you. No one's coming to save you. It's you versus you, and the version of you that's willing to suffer is the version that wins. So when pain shows up, and it always will, don't run, don't hide, don't beg for it to stop. Look it dead in the eye and make a choice. Let it destroy you or let it define you. Why do some people achieve greatness while others stay stuck in mediocrity? It's not luck, it's not talent, it's not even intelligence. It's pain and what you choose to do with it. Most people crumble when life gets hard. They tap out the moment they feel discomfort. They tell themselves they weren't meant for this. as if the universe handpicks winners and losers from birth. But the truth is, the only difference between the average and the great is that the great refuse to stop when it hurts. They understand something most people never will. Pain is the entry fee for greatness. Pain filters out the weak. Pain isn't random, it's a filter. It's designed to separate those who kind of want success from those who are obsessed with it. The weak think pain is a sign to stop. The strong, pain is a signal to keep going. Every setback, every failure, every sleepless night, they're checkpoints. They're opportunities to prove how badly you want it. Most people quit because they think pain means they're doing something wrong. They believe success should feel good, that if they're on the right path, it should feel easy and natural, but success isn't supposed to feel good while you're earning it. It feels good after you've earned it. If it's painful, that's how you know you're getting closer. The world doesn't owe you a reward. It owes you nothing. Here's a truth that's hard to swallow. The world doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't owe you success. It doesn't owe you happiness. It doesn't owe you recognition for your hard work. Most people waste their lives waiting for someone to notice them, waiting for validation, for a lucky break, for a handout. But no one's coming. The world rewards results, not effort. It rewards those who push through the pain long enough to create undeniable success, the ones who keep showing up broken, tired, and frustrated until they become so good that no one can ignore them. That's the cold reality. You're not entitled to success. You have to take it. Pain turns you into a weapon. Pain is life's way of shaping you into the person you need to become to handle the success because success isn't just about getting what you want. It's about keeping it. Most people who win the lottery go broke within years. Athletes who rely on raw talent burn out before their prime. People who inherit wealth lose it faster than they got it. Why? Because they never became the person who deserved what they received. They skipped the pain, so they skipped the transformation. Pain isn't just a price. It's the process that turns you into someone who can handle the weight of success without collapsing. It forces you to level up, to harden your mind, to sharpen your instincts. It molds you into a weapon. Someone who doesn't just achieve success, but someone who keeps it and builds on it. The great ones are built in the dark. Everyone wants to be admired. Everyone wants applause, recognition, and praise. But the truth is, the great ones aren't built under bright lights. They're built in the dark. They're built when no one is watching, when there's no cheering, no validation, and no guarantee that any of this will even pay off. They push through the pain, alone, unseen, knowing the world only celebrates the finished product, never the process. That's the difference between the average and the great. The average needs an audience to stay motivated. The great are motivated by the vision of who they're becoming, even when no one else believes in them. The question is, which one are you? Because the pain won't stop, the struggle won't ease up, life isn't going to give you a break. You have two choices: stay average or become great. And the only thing standing between those two versions of you is how much pain you're willing to endure. What if the pain you feel today is the exact thing building the mindset you need to dominate tomorrow? Most people think success starts with talent, luck, or connections, but they're wrong. It starts in the mind. And the mind doesn't become powerful by living an easy, comfortable life. It becomes powerful when it's forged in the fire of hardship and suffering. Pain is the hammer, your mindset is steel. Every blow reshapes you, tougher, sharper, harder to break. But here's the truth, most people never let the process finish. They quit when it hurts, not realizing they were inches away from becoming unstoppable. Comfort is a silent killer. Comfort feels good, it's warm, familiar, and easy. But comfort is the enemy of greatness. It lulls you into a false sense of security, making you believe you're doing fine, even when you're stuck in the same place year after year. Comfort whispers lies. You deserve a break. You've done enough. It's okay to slow down. But here's the reality. Every second spent in comfort is a second you fall behind. Someone else, somewhere, is grinding harder while you relax. The person you dream of becoming, they're out there suffering, pushing, growing, while you're staying the same. Pain is a gift because it forces you out of comfort. It wakes you up and reminds you that nothing great happens in the safety zone. Pain breaks the weak version of you. People fear pain because they think it's breaking them. But the truth is, it's only breaking the parts of you that don't belong. The lazy version, the weak version, the version is full of excuses. That version has to die for the stronger you to emerge. Pain doesn't just build character, it reveals it. It strips away all the lies you tell yourself and shows you who you really are. Are you someone who folds when life gets hard, or are you someone who fights through it? Someone who refuses to let pain win? Every time you push through suffering, you're proving to yourself that you're stronger than the voice telling you to stop. And that's how an unbreakable mindset is built. One painful, defiant step at a time. Your mind controls everything. Your body can take more than you realize. It's your mind that quits first. It's the voice that says, this is too hard, you're too tired, it's not worth it. But what if that voice is lying? Because it is. Your mind's job is to protect you, to keep you safe, even at the cost of your dreams. It wants you to stop before you reach the point of pain, even though that's exactly where the growth happens. The people who win in life are the ones who learn to ignore that voice. They push past it. They reprogram their minds to embrace pain instead of avoid it. They teach themselves that pain isn't a signal to stop, it's a signal to keep going. You either control your mind or it controls you. At the end of the day, the battle isn't against your circumstances, your competition, or even the pain itself. It's against your own mind, and you only have two choices: control it or let it control you. The people who stay stuck, who never achieve what they want, they let their minds run the show. They listen to the excuses. They believe the fear. They let their feelings decide their actions. But the ones who rise above, they become the master of their mind. They push through the pain, not because they're superhuman, but because they refuse to let their emotions dictate their decision. They train their minds to obey, even when every fiber of their being screams to stop. That's what makes them unstoppable. Not talent, not luck, not shortcuts. A mindset so powerful that pain becomes irrelevant. So the question is, are you controlling your mind, or is it controlling you? How do you know how strong you really are if life never pushes you to the edge? Most people never find out. They live in comfort, never tested, never challenged, so they die full of potential they never touched. But pain? Pain doesn't ask, it demands. It drags you to the edge and forces you to decide. Will you break or will you rise? The truth is, you are far stronger than you realize, but you'll never discover that strength unless life knocks you down so hard that getting back up feels impossible. Pain introduces you to the version of yourself you never knew existed, the version that refuses to stay on the ground. Pain awakens the fighter within you. When life hits you, and it will, you have two choices: lay there and accept defeat, or fight like hell to get back up. Most people stay down because they don't think they have the strength to fight, but the reality is strength doesn't show up before the fight, it's forged in the middle of it. Pain pulls the fighter out of you, the primal, relentless, unstoppable force buried deep inside, the part of you that refuses to let life win. It's the part that says, I don't care how tired I am, I'm not done yet. I don't care how hard this gets, I'm not quitting. I don't care how much this hurts, I'm coming back stronger. This isn't about motivation anymore. Motivation dies when things get hard. This is about grit. It's about the fire inside you that refuses to burn out, no matter how much life tries to snuff it out. The pain you endure today becomes your power tomorrow. Pain isn't just suffering, it's transformation. Every time you endure what you thought you couldn't, you grow. You don't just get stronger, you get smarter, tougher, harder to break. Pain is life's way of equipping you for the battles ahead. The version of you that survives today's pain is the version that's unstoppable tomorrow. Think about it. Every scar tells a story of a fight you didn't lose. Every ache is a reminder that you survived something that was supposed to break you. You're still here, and that means you're already more powerful than the person you were yesterday. Pain builds confidence, the real kind. Most people think confidence comes from success. They think they'll feel powerful once they've made it. But confidence doesn't come from winning. It comes from knowing you can take hit after hit and still get back up. The strongest, most confident people aren't the ones who've had an easy life. They're the ones who've been through hell and came out on the other side knowing that nothing can break them anymore. Real confidence doesn't come from avoiding pain, it comes from surviving it, from looking back at everything you've endured and knowing deep in your soul that you're built for this. The world respects strength, not excuses. No one cares about your excuses. It sounds harsh, but it's the truth. The world doesn't reward people who give up. It rewards people who keep going no matter what. People respect strength. They admire resilience. They look up to those who take the hits, endure the pain, and come back even stronger. When you push through suffering, when you rise after falling, you don't just earn your own respect. You earn the respect of everyone around you, because deep down, people wish they had that kind of strength. And when they see it in you, they can't ignore it. Pain is a punishment. It's preparation. Most people think pain is life punishing them. But what if it's the opposite? What if pain is preparing you for something greater? The truth is, life doesn't hand out success to people who aren't ready for it. It gives you challenges, obstacles, and suffering to build you into the person who can handle success without crumbling. Every setback, every failure, every moment of agony, it's not punishment, it's preparation. It's life asking you one question: how bad do you really want it? Because the ones who stop when it hurts never make it. Only the ones who push through, who use the pain to fuel their fire, get to taste victory. So when the pain hits, remember this: it's not there to stop you, it's there to shape you. What if the version of you that exists right now isn't meant to survive the next level of your life? Pain forces you to confront that truth. It strips away the old version of you, the one that's too weak, too afraid, too comfortable to become who you're meant to be. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about what you want to hold on to. It only cares about one thing: creating a stronger, tougher, more resilient version of you. When everything falls apart, you're left with two choices: rebuild yourself from the ground up or stay broken. Most people choose to stay broken because rebuilding is hard. It hurts. It means admitting the old version of you wasn't good enough. But staying broken means staying stuck, staying small, staying powerless. And deep down, you know you're meant for more than that. Pain is the universe's way of saying it's time to evolve. Pain forces you to let go of the past. One of the hardest things about pain isn't the suffering itself. It's the realization that you can't go back to who you used to be. The truth is, some parts of you aren't meant to survive. The lazy part, the fearful part, the part that cares too much about what other people think. Pain forces you to let go of that version of yourself, even if you're not ready to. It's brutal, it's unfair, but it's necessary. Because the person you're becoming has no room for the weaknesses of your past. The strongest people in the world didn't get there by clinging to who they used to be. They got there by sacrificing the old version of themselves to make room for something greater. It's not about losing yourself. It's about finding your true self. The version that's buried beneath fear, doubt, and comfort. The version that can handle anything life throws at you. Pain rebuilds you, stronger, smarter, unstoppable. When you're broken, you have a choice. Put yourself back together the way you were, or rebuild yourself into something better. Pain isn't a setback. It's an opportunity. It gives you the chance to start over, this time with more wisdom, more grit, and more power than you had before. Think about it. When you fail, you learn what doesn't work. When you lose, you learn how to win. When you suffer, you learn how to endure. Pain forces you to rethink everything: your habits, your mindset, your approach to life. It burns away the things that hold you back and leaves you with only what you truly need to succeed. The question is, will you use that pain to become better, or will you waste it? Your old self can't handle the life you're building. Here's the harsh truth: the life you want isn't meant for the person you are right now. The version of you that's comfortable, afraid, and full of excuses, that version doesn't make it to the top. The next level of your life requires a stronger, sharper, more disciplined version of you. Pain is the bridge between who you are and who you're meant to become. It's not there to punish you, it's there to prepare you, to force you to grow, adapt, and evolve. Every challenge, every setback, every moment of suffering is a chance to become the person you need to be to handle the success waiting on the other side. The truth is, success doesn't change you. The journey does. The pain, the struggle, the sacrifice, that's what transforms you into someone who's worthy of the life you're chasing. Pain turns you into someone people can't ignore. Weak people blend in. They go unnoticed. They disappear into the background because they never went through enough to stand out. But strong people, the ones forged by pain, they're impossible to ignore. Why? Because pain gives you a presence. It gives you a fire in your eyes and a weight in your voice that people can't look away from. When you've endured what most people run from, you carry yourself differently. You move through life with a confidence that only comes from surviving what was meant to break you. And people notice. They might not understand what you went through. They might not even like you, but they'll respect you. Because strength, real, undeniable strength, is something the world can't help but admire. Pain forces you to ask one question: who do you want to become? At the end of the day, pain boils everything down to one simple, brutal question. Who do you want to become? Do you want to be the person who quits when life gets hard, who spends their life wondering what could have been? Or do you want to be the person who rises from the ashes, stronger, smarter, and tougher than before? The truth is, pain doesn't leave you the same. It either breaks you or it builds you, and that decision, it's yours to make. What if no one is coming to save you? It's a hard truth, but the faster you accept it, the faster you start becoming the person who doesn't need saving. Most people spend their lives waiting for someone to fix their problems, waiting for the right moment, waiting for permission to go after what they want. But waiting is a slow death. The truth is, no one's coming. No one's going to pull you out of the hole you're in. No one's going to fight your battles for you. And deep down, you know that. Pain is life's way of forcing you to wake up, to stop looking for a leader and start becoming one. It teaches you that the only person who can change your life is you. Pain kills the victim inside you. The most dangerous mindset in the world is victimhood. The belief that life owes you something. Life doesn't owe you anything. It's brutal, it's unfair, it will knock you down without a second thought. But staying down and complaining won't make it stop. Pain forces you to make a decision. Stay a victim or rise as a warrior. The truth is, the world doesn't listen to victims. It doesn't care about excuses. It doesn't care about how unfair your situation is, but it respects fighters. It respects the ones who take the hits and keep moving forward. Pain breaks the part of you that wants to be rescued, the part that waits for someone else to fix things. It replaces that weakness with a new mindset. No one's coming to save me, and that's okay. I'll save myself. I'll lead myself out of this mess. That's what pain gives you. A leader's mindset. Pain forces you to take responsibility, even when it's not your fault. Most people waste their lives blaming the world. They blame their parents, their boss, their bad luck. But blaming others gives your power away. Taking responsibility, even for things that aren't your fault, puts the power back in your hands. Pain forces you to stop pointing fingers and start asking yourself, what can I do to fix this? What can I learn from this? How can I come back stronger? It's not fair. It's not easy, but it's the only way to take back control. The moment you stop blaming and start taking ownership is the moment you become unstoppable. Because now, no matter what life throws at you, you're not waiting for anyone else to fix it. You're in charge. Pain forces you to lead by example, whether you realize it or not. People are watching you, your friends, your family, people you don't even know. They're watching how you handle the pain, and whether you like it or not, you're leading them. The question is, what are you teaching them? If you quit, you teach them that quitting is okay. If you complain, you teach them that excuses are normal. But if you fight, if you rise, you show them what's possible. You show them that pain isn't an excuse to give up. It's fuel to push harder. Real leaders don't give speeches. They don't demand respect. They lead by example, by enduring more than anyone else and refusing to quit. Pain gives you that opportunity to inspire, to motivate, to show others that strength isn't something you're born with, it's something you earn. Pain turns you into someone you'd look up to. Think about the people you admire, the ones who inspire you. Are they people who had an easy life? People who never struggled? Of course not. The people you admire are the ones who endured suffering and came out stronger. The ones who stared pain in the face and refused to back down. Why? Because strength is magnetic, it's rare. And deep down, everyone wishes they had it. Pain forces you to ask yourself, are you becoming someone you'd admire? Are you living in a way that your younger self would be proud of? Are you building a life that the future version of you will thank you for? The truth is, pain gives you the chance to become your own hero, to become the person you always wished you had to look up to, someone who doesn't break, someone who doesn't need saving, someone who saves themselves. Pain forces you to own your life completely. At the end of the day, pain does one thing. It forces you to stop waiting and start leading. It rips away your safety net. It destroys your excuses. It puts the weight of your life in your hands, whether you're ready or not. And that's a gift. Because when you take full ownership, when you stop waiting for a savior and become your own leader, no one can stop you. No setback, no failure, no amount of suffering can hold you down. Why? Because you're not waiting for someone to pull you out of the fire anymore. You've learned how to walk through it alone. Unbreakable, unstoppable. That's the power pain gives you if you're strong enough to take it. What if the greatest battle you'll ever face isn't against the world, but against your own mind? Pain doesn't just attack your body or your circumstances, it attacks your thoughts. It gets inside your head and whispers every reason why you should quit. You're not good enough. You'll never make it. Why even bother trying anymore? This is where most people lose, not because they're physically weak, but because they believe the lies their mind tells them when they're tired, broken, and full of doubt. But here's the truth. Pain isn't the enemy. Your mind's reaction to pain is. If you can master that, if you can control your thoughts instead of letting them control you, there's nothing in this world that can stop you. Your mind is a weapon, but only if you learn to control it. Most people let their minds control them. They let fear dictate their decisions. They let doubt hold them back. But your mind is meant to be a weapon, not a prison. Pain forces you to choose. Will you let your thoughts weaken you, or will you sharpen them into something unstoppable? When everything hurts and quitting feels easy, that's when you have to take control of the conversation happening inside your head. Tell yourself, I am stronger than this pain. I refuse to let this break me. I'll keep going no matter what. At first it feels like a lie. Your mind fights back, screaming that you're done, that you can't take anymore. But the more you push back, the quieter those voices become, until one day, they stop altogether. That's when you realize you're no longer controlled by your emotions. You control them. Pain forces you to find clarity. Pain strips away the noise, all the distractions, all the nonsense, all the things that don't really matter. Pain burns it all to the ground. It forces you to face what's truly important. When you're hurting, you stop caring about petty things. You stop wasting time on people who don't support you. You stop chasing things that don't bring you closer to your goals. Pain gives you clarity. It forces you to ask yourself, what do I really want from life? Who do I want to become? What am I willing to suffer for? Because the truth is, anything worth having comes with pain. Success, love, respect, power, it all demands a price. And pain forces you to decide, is what you want worth the price you're paying? If the answer is yes, then no amount of suffering will stop you. If the answer is no, then pain just saved you from wasting your life chasing the wrong things. Pain breaks weak habits and builds strong ones. Most people live their lives controlled by habits they never chose. They wake up late, they scroll on their phone, they procrastinate, they avoid hard things because it's easier to stay comfortable. But pain, when you hit rock bottom, your old habits die because they're no longer enough to keep you going. Pain pushes you to build new habits, stronger habits. Waking up earlier because you're tired of wasting time, training harder because you're tired of feeling weak, working longer because you're tired of being broke. Pain makes you disciplined. It forces you to realize that motivation is temporary, but habits last. The pain doesn't go away overnight, but neither do the habits it builds. And those habits, they're what turn you into the kind of person who can't be stopped. Pain forces you to kill the weak version of you. There's a version of you right now, the one who's afraid, insecure, and full of excuses. That version doesn't deserve the life you're chasing. That version has to die. Pain is the executioner. It forces you to outgrow the part of you that's too soft to handle the life you want. It's brutal, it's unforgiving, but that's the price of becoming the person you're meant to be, because on the other side of that weak version of you is someone unstoppable. Someone who's not controlled by fear, comfort, or doubt anymore. Someone who walks through life with a fire inside them that no amount of pain can put out. Pain doesn't build you, it reveals you. Here's the truth. Pain doesn't create strength. It reveals the strength that's been inside you all along. It strips away everything fake, the false confidence, the ego, the excuses, and shows you who you really are. It's easy to believe you're strong when life is easy, but when life gets hard, when you're knocked down, beaten, and exhausted, that's when the truth comes out. Pain forces you to look in the mirror and ask yourself, who am I really? Are you someone who quits when it hurts? Or are you someone who rises no matter how many times you fall? The answer isn't found in comfort. It's found in suffering, because pain is the test. The only question is, will you pass it? What if the version of you that exists right now isn't meant to survive the journey ahead? Pain has a way of showing you the truth, and sometimes that truth is hard to swallow. It shows you that the person you are today might not be strong enough, disciplined enough, or relentless enough to reach the life you dream of. And that's okay, because pain isn't here to punish you. It's here to rebuild you. It's here to tear down the weak foundation you've been standing on and force you to create a stronger one that can hold the weight of the life you truly want. Pain destroys your old identity. Most people are stuck because they're holding on to an outdated version of themselves, a version that's too small for the life they say they want. They want success, but they cling to habits built by someone who wasn't ready for it. They want confidence, but they hold on to insecurities that no longer serve them. They want freedom, but they're still playing it safe like someone who's afraid to lose. Pain doesn't let you stay that person. It forces you to confront the truth. The life you want demands a better version of you. The old you, the one who's comfortable, scared, or lazy, can't come with you. That version has to die for the new one to emerge. Pain is what burns the old identity to the ground, leaving you with only one choice: build a new one. Pain forces you to define who you really are. When life is easy, you can pretend to be anyone. But when life hurts, when you're beaten down, exhausted, and broken, the mask falls off. Pain strips away the act. It reveals who you really are underneath it all. But more importantly, it gives you the chance to decide who do you want to become, not who your family expects you to be, not who society told you to be, not who you were yesterday. Who do you choose to be now, today, moving forward? Pain gives you a clean slate, a chance to rebuild from scratch. And this time, you're not building a weak, watered-down version of yourself. You're building someone who's unbreakable, someone who refuses to quit, someone who can withstand anything life throws at them and come back stronger. Pain forces you to upgrade your standards. Your life right now is a reflection of the standards you've accepted. You're surrounded by people who drain your energy. It's because you accepted that. If you're stuck in a job you hate, it's because you settled for it. If you're out of shape, broke, or miserable, it's because on some level you allowed it. That's a hard truth to face. But pain doesn't care about your feelings. It forces you to realize that the life you're living is the result of what you tolerate. Pain makes you sick of your own excuses. It makes you angry enough to raise your standards, demand more from yourself, and stop accepting less than you deserve. It teaches you that the fastest way to change your life is to change what you're willing to put up with. Stop tolerating laziness. Stop tolerating weakness. Stop tolerating toxic people. Stop tolerating mediocrity. When pain pushes you hard enough, you'll reach a point where you say enough is enough. That's when everything changes. Pain forces you to build an unstoppable work ethic. The truth is, pain doesn't respect talent. It doesn't care how smart, gifted, or lucky you are. The only thing pain respects is work. When you're suffering, when you're tired, broken, and everything in you wants to stop, that's when pain forces you to decide, will you give up or will you outwork it? Most people quit when it gets hard. That's why most people never make it. But pain has a secret. If you're willing to endure it, if you're willing to push through when everyone else stops, it can't hold you down forever. Every time you show up, even when you're hurting, you steal a little bit of power back from the pain. Every time you refuse to quit, you take one more step ahead of the people who gave up. Pain teaches you that success isn't given, it's earned through suffering, sacrifice, and relentless work. And the ones who make it, they're not the most talented. They're the ones who were willing to hurt the longest without giving up. Pain doesn't end you. It creates a new beginning. It's easy to believe that pain is the end of your story. It's not. Pain is the breaking point, the moment everything feels like it's falling apart. But that's not where your story ends. It's where your new life begins. The old you, the one who couldn't handle it, the one who wanted to quit, that version dies here. The person who walks out of this, they're different, stronger, tougher, smarter. They're the version of you that doesn't just survive, they thrive. Pain isn't here to stop you, it's here to shape you into someone who can handle everything you once thought was impossible. The only question is, are you willing to let the old you die so the new you can rise? What if the fear you're running from is the exact thing meant to set you free? Most people let fear control them. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of losing. But here's the truth. Fear is just pain in disguise. Pain that hasn't happened yet. It's your mind showing you the worst possible outcome, trying to protect you from it. But the problem is that fear traps you. It holds you back from the very things that would make you unstoppable. Pain doesn't just teach you how to endure, it teaches you how to flip fear into power. Fear is proof you're on the right path. If you're scared, good. That means you're doing something that actually matters. Think about it. The things you're most afraid to do, having that hard conversation, starting that business, going after that impossible goal, those are the things that would change your life the most. Fear shows up when you're about to step into the unknown, when you're leaving the safety of comfort and walking into a future where nothing is guaranteed. That's why most people stop there. They feel fear and back away. They tell themselves maybe it's not the right time, or maybe I'm not ready yet. But pain teaches you something different. It teaches you that fear isn't a stop sign. It's a green light. It's proof that you're standing on the edge of a breakthrough. If you're scared, it means you're about to grow. Pain forces you to face what you're afraid of. The truth is, avoiding fear doesn't make it disappear. It just gives it more power over you. Every time you back down from something that scares you, you're telling yourself, I'm not strong enough to handle this. But pain pushes you to the point where you have no choice but to face it. It forces you to stop running, because eventually the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of changing. That's when you stop hiding. That's when you finally face what you've been avoiding and realize that fear is never as powerful as you think it is. The worst case scenario you built up in your head, it's a lie. The pain of failure, rejection, or embarrassment, it's temporary. But the pain of regret, that lasts forever. Fear only controls you if you let it. Fear will always be there. You can't get rid of it. But you can decide whether it controls you or fuels you. The truth is, fear and excitement feel the same in your body. The racing heart, the adrenaline, the tension. Your mind decides whether that feeling is fear or power. The only difference between fear and excitement is the story you attach to it. Most people feel that energy and tell themselves, this is fear. I should stop. But what if instead you said, this is excitement? This means I'm alive. This means I'm growing. What if you rewired fear into fuel? Because on the other side of fear is something powerful, confidence. Confidence doesn't come from being fearless. It comes from feeling the fear, walking through it, and realizing you didn't die. Pain turns fear into strength. Every time you face fear and push through it, you build strength. And not just physical strength, mental strength, emotional strength, spiritual strength. You become a different person. The kind of person who doesn't flinch when life hits back. The kind of person who laughs in the face of doubt. The kind of person who can walk into any room, any situation, and know, without a doubt, I can handle this. That strength doesn't come from success. It comes from suffering. It comes from the days you didn't think you'd make it, but you did anyway. It comes from looking fear in the face and saying, you can't stop me. Pain prepares you for the life you deserve. Most people think they're afraid of failure, but what they're really afraid of is becoming who they're meant to be. Because that version of you, the strongest, most powerful version, doesn't have excuses. They don't tolerate weakness. They don't play small to make other people comfortable. That version of you scares you because it forces you to let go of the old you, the one who's safe, who's comfortable, who's easy to understand. But the life you want, the success, the freedom, the happiness, doesn't belong to the old you. It belongs to the version of you who's brave enough to claim it. Pain is the test, fear is the gatekeeper. And the only way to get to the other side is to go through it. So the question is, are you going to keep letting fear make your decisions? Or are you finally ready to take your power back, no matter how much it hurts? What if the pain you're going through right now is the exact thing shaping you into the person you were meant to become? Think about it. Everything you've survived, everything that broke you, everything that made you question whether you could keep going, it's all been preparing you for something bigger. The problem is, most people quit before they see that transformation. They let pain convince them that life is unfair, that they're unlucky, that maybe they were never meant for more in the first place. But that's the greatest lie of all. Pain isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of a new one, if you're brave enough to keep turning the page. Pain is your greatest teacher. Success doesn't teach you who you are. Winning doesn't show you your true strength. Pain does. Pain strips away the lies, the excuses, the masks, the version of you that pretends everything is okay. Pain forces you to meet yourself face to face. It asks you one question. Who are you really? Are you the person who gives up when life gets hard, or are you the person who fights back? Even when you're tired, even when you're broken, even when you're not sure how you're gonna make it. Because that's who you are underneath it all. Not the person who's afraid, not the person who doubts, but the person who refuses to stay down. Every scar you carry isn't proof of your weakness. It's proof that you survived, proof that you endured, proof that you're still standing when most people would have stayed on the ground. That's strength. That's who you are. The world respects those who refuse to break. The truth is, nobody cares about your excuses. The world doesn't owe you anything, but the world respects one thing: resilience. People admire those who get back up after life knocks them down. They cheer for the underdog who refuses to quit. They're inspired by the ones who turn their pain into power and come back stronger than before. Why? Because deep down, everyone knows how hard that is. They know what it feels like to want to give up. And when they see someone who refuses to, they can't help but respect it. So when you're drowning in pain, when it feels like nobody understands or cares, remember this: the world may not feel sorry for you, but it will respect you when you rise anyway. Your pain is building a warrior. Every struggle you face is building something inside you, something unbreakable. Pain is molding you into a warrior. And warriors are built differently. They don't crumble when life gets hard. They don't back down when things feel impossible. They don't let fear decide their future. Warriors keep going, even when they're exhausted. They push forward, even when their mind screams at them to stop. They fight, even when they're unsure if they'll win. Because warriors know one thing: pain is temporary, but quitting is permanent. The version of you that's built through pain is a version no one can stop. Not your enemies, not your failures, not even your past. This version of you doesn't negotiate with weakness. This version doesn't listen to fear. This version of you stands tall, even when the world tries to tear you down. One day, you'll think the pain, it sounds crazy now, but one day you'll look back and be grateful for the pain. You'll realize that the worst moments of your life didn't destroy you, they built you. They made you stronger, smarter, tougher, and more capable than you ever would have been without them. The truth is, the version of you who gets everything you've ever wanted can only exist because of the pain, the success, the freedom, the happiness. It doesn't belong to the old you, the comfortable, scared version who avoided pain. It belongs to the version of you who suffered, who endured, who never gave up, even when they had every reason to. This is your moment, so now the choice is yours. You can keep wishing life were easier, softer, kinder. You can keep avoiding the pain and staying exactly where you are, safe but unfulfilled, comfortable but empty. Or you can decide right now that your pain will have a purpose. You can decide that the suffering won't be wasted. You can decide that no matter what life throws at you, you will rise. Because the truth is, you were never meant for an easy life. You were meant for a powerful one, a meaningful one, a legendary one. And that kind of life isn't given, it's earned. Through pain, through struggle, through relentless effort. The world belongs to those who refuse to stay down. So get up, fight back, show the world what pain made you. Because your pain isn't here to destroy you, it's here to create you. And the version of you on the other side of that pain is unstoppable.